How safe is public transport for women? Do associations make background checks on their taxi drivers? Are law enforcement agencies prioritizing rape and assault cases? What does Human Rights Month mean for abused women and children? What time is it? It's question time. Hotsong, and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho Tsedu. Recently, more women came forward with information of sexual assaults and robberies allegedly committed by some taxi drivers around Gauteng. According to the victims' revelations, the crimes seem to have been happening for quite some time. The hotspots for these crimes are Soweto, Roodepoort and Booysens. The most shocking was where a woman was sexually assaulted in front of his 10-year-old son. Gauteng MEC for Safety Sizakele Nkosi-Malobane says they are working around the clock to bring perpetrators to book. Meanwhile, Minister of Transport Dipuo Peters has condemned this barbaric act, saying they will cooperate with the police to determine if serial rapists posing as taxi operators are targeting women in and around the city. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. Well, my guest today, Alpheus Mlalazi, is the Secretary General of the National Taxi Alliance, Gauteng branch, and Nondumiso Nsibande is Director at Tshwaranang Legal and Advocacy Center. On the line, we are having the Gauteng Police spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Lungelo Dlamini. So let me welcome you all to the show.
Thank you. Good evening.
I'm not sure if we've got Colonel Dlamini on the line. Colonel Dlamini, if you're with us, can you just give us perhaps the latest on this particular case? How far have the police gone?
There is a continuing investigation. The task team is looking at this case. At this stage, we are in a process of having an identification parade. There were suspects that were arrested for unrelated crimes, but we think that maybe they might be linked. At this stage, we haven't linked them. Once we hold an identification parade, we'll be able to know exactly whether they are linked to the crime or not.
So currently, the people that you have, you can't tell if they are linked to the crime. On what basis were they arrested then?
They were arrested for a case of armed robbery. At this stage, we haven't linked them to this recent incident where women boarded the taxis and then they were later raped.
Yeah, but now how does that feature in my question?
It is these suspects were also driving a minibus, and then they robbed some of the passengers, and they were arrested by the police. At this stage, we haven't linked them to the incident where they were robbing the victims and raping them.
So you have not arrested anybody in as far as this matter of women being raped in Texas is concerned?
At this stage, we are following several leads, but I cannot confirm any arrest.
But you can confirm that there are no arrests that have been made on the basis of this case?
We are following several leads. Nobody has been arrested in connection with the rape incident.
Okay. Mr. Lungelo Dlamini, thank you very much. In simple English, the police have not arrested anybody. Thank you. Well, here we are. The police have not arrested anybody, and there's no 100,000 rand reward or anything of the sort. Are these women safe in this country?
Thanks, Mpho, and let me start by saying that I think it is deeply disturbing that at this point there's been no arrests that have been made. What I do understand is that there have been cases that have been reported as far back as 2015, so that's roughly 2 years on, 2016, about a year on, we're in 2017 today. And again, I must say at the same time that this is not surprising, because this happens to be the reality for many rape survivors in the country. The public transport system, I would say, given the recent spate of rape, and more importantly, I think previous experiences, is not a safe place or space. Public transportation system generally. I think the challenge here is that because we've normalized violence, oftentimes, even when we do experience harassment in various taxi ranks, we're not going to report it, we're not going to say much about it because of varying reasons, and a part of it could be as a result of a lack of confidence in the criminal justice system, a situation where you go and report to the police and what gets done. So we have a situation, for example, where we have the Protection from Harassment Act, which was passed in around 2012, which does speak to violence, which does speak to addressing gender-based violence. But rarely do we see any reports in the country. Rarely do we see any reports really around gender-based violence because of these varying factors.
Okay. Now, well, she's saying the taxi environment is not safe for women, and so far the complainants are saying they were raped by taxi operators.
We have to admit, as the taxi industry, that we were caught off guard by these incidents, because it has always been known that the safest place for citizens, particularly the vulnerable in our society, has always been taxi ranks and inside taxis. We never thought for a moment that it would happen that such heinous and sadistic crimes would be committed in our taxis. And we have to take ownership and say, we start from the premise that says, because taxis were involved, it is indeed our members or our drivers until it has been proven otherwise. Look, it's as I'm saying, it's a rude awakening for us. We have to go back to the drawing board and change the strategy of recruiting and selecting drivers. Secondly, also look into using technology so that we can begin to monitor our taxis where they are day long and what is happening. It would have been easy now to apprehend the people that committed these sadistic crimes.
But tell me, Babmlalas, why is there a disparity in character between the owners and the drivers? Because you sound very much a responsible person, and you know, I'm really, I must give you credit for owning up, because otherwise some people were just saying, we're just going to argue that you know, you have not even proven that it's our members. Why are you accusing us and all that? But you're saying we are adopting the strategy or the position that says they are our members until we've proven otherwise, because indeed that is supposed to be ethics. But now, that's not the mentality of drivers.
On that, Mpo, the responsibility is still with us, as I've indicated on the selection criteria. In these incidents, say we have been found wanting. Secondly, have we done enough training to train our drivers, rank marshals and rank managers to understand that a customer is a king at all times? When we talk business, we're talking of an exchange of a service and a payment, but we are not a monopoly. So I don't think we have done enough. We just have to accept that we have done enough or not enough. It's unfortunate that we are only standing up when some people are going to live the rest of their lives with those scars. Okay. So it's on us to now stand up and work in a frenzy to make sure that we effect that change.
Mike, you are in Lichtenburg, that's in the northwest. Welcome. Mike? Mike? Okay, Mike is no longer there. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion to look at this matter where A couple of women have laid charges with the police, who have not made any arrests so far as we speak, regarding sexual violations, or rather being sexually violated when they were in public taxis. 089-110-4210. At question time 24 is our Twitter handle. The police have not arrested anyone.
The only way to pour the perfect beer, this professional barman would tell you, is into a glass tilted at exactly 45 degrees. Oh, bless you. Bless you, sir. Bless you again. Well, we'd say the perfect way to pour a beer is at this angle, straight into your mouth. Tops at Spa. Good beer, good advice, no Ponzi beer stuff. If you asked the British how they felt about being the biggest cider drinkers in the world, they'd say something like this. Yes. Well, we don't know about you, but that sounds like a challenge. Challenge accepted. Tops at Spa. Good cider, good advice, no stiff upper lip.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, Babu Alpheus Mlalazi, is the Secretary General of NATO, is it the National Taxi Alliance, rather, the Gauteng branch. And Nondumiso Nsibande is the Director of Tsorahanang Legal and Advocacy Center. And earlier on, we had the police spokesperson, Colonel Lungelo Dlamini, who confirmed that the police have not arrested anyone in as far as this case is concerned. Zion, you are on the line, and where are you? You are in Ekong, I guess.
Yes, yes, Alumpo.
Hi, welcome, Dr. Zion.
Yeah, and the second in King Lomstown, Ginsberg location.
Enkosi kakhulu kwaBiko.
It's just next to Steve Biko's home.
Enkosi kakhulu Dada.
Ubawo Mlalazi. He looks like he's a respectable, God-fearing family man. I must commend him also.
Correct.
Now, I would like to make a suggestion that since the police has not yet tracked down the alleged criminals, perpetrators on this bad, demonic act on women, the taxi people, taxi drivers, taxi owners who hate this thing must mobilize themselves in the way they do to apprehend criminals and deal with the criminals. So they must, I would urge them to do the same to these rapists. They must apprehend them, search for them, hunt them, get them, and deal with them mercilessly. Thank you very much.
Enkosi kakhulu Dr. Zion from Ekong there. I'll come to you. Let me just finish off with the taxis here quickly. Indeed, what Dr. Zion is saying is true. Your taxis are parked overnight in unsafe areas, right? And people know that you don't steal a taxi, because if you do, those guys are going to come after you and they will deal with you mercilessly, like he has said. Is it not time that this type of crimes are also tracked and perhaps dealt with with the same enthusiasm, zest and zeal and oomph in the manner that you would when it's a crime against one of your own?
Absolutely. As you would know, today we had a march in Johannesburg with the Department of Community Safety. Talking to the police and the officials, they do have a footage out of the ATMs where these, I don't know if they are robbers or rapists, went to withdraw money from the bank accounts of their victims.
Okay.
Now we are saying to community safety, please just let us know where these taxis are coming from, because they do have the registration numbers.
Okay.
I'm sure that's trying to work out technological things and so on, so that we can go and fetch those stuff. Definitely, once we have known that this taxi comes from this association in this area, we'll definitely go and fetch those drivers and give them over to the police.
Will they be alive by the time? I don't trust you guys.
No. We will just maybe it's better if I say it in Gesizulu, and hand them off.
Okay, umtandazo before they hand them over to the police. Yes. Natile, you're in Volleys. Welcome.
Mpo?
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, Mpo, you know, the taxi industry, you must more especially the drivers. They must respect the passengers. You see, each and every time I saw the taxi at the dark place, people are sleeping in the taxi, no are doing in the taxi. But you don't respect the taxi. That's why it's very simple. They can, when they see women, they see sex objects. You understand it?
Yeah, I'm listening, Ngatile.
Yeah, because last time I saw the taxi, when I got taxi, inside the taxi, you find the used condom inside. So they must respect their business. They must teach the drivers.
Point made. Thanks, Ngatile. What is going to happen with these women? I know you're running support groups, you're running advocacy groups, but there probably are not this only few who have experienced this.
Yes, I think that's a very important question. In actual fact, one of the things that we have done as Tsaranang together with Power is we've written to the MEC of Community Safety. There's two things that the MEC of Community Safety had said over radio that we thought definitely we should intervene, outside of the fact that we are organizations that work on addressing violence against women in the country. The one thing that the MEC did mention is that she found that when she met with the survivors, she found that there were challenges, that survivors had met challenges with the police, plus also medical legal stuff. And we thought to ourselves, this is not surprising. In actual fact, there's a study that we did just last year that was looking at identifying medical legal barriers to the effective prosecution of rape cases in the country. And what we did find was that a lot of rape survivors actually face challenges in accessing justice. In some cases, medical legal staff will go as far as telling them to come back the next day because unfortunately there's no forensic nurses and unfortunately there's no doctors. Those type of attitudes and the lack of human resourcing is problematic. The lack of accountability by police officials is similarly problematic. And now this happens to be the experience of many rape survivors in the country, which is why we've proposed having a conversation with the MEC for Community Safety to not just talk about this particular rapes, but to also talk about other challenges that rape survivors are facing in the criminal justice system. Khotso,
you are in Randfontein. Welcome. Daddy.
Mother, I've got a problem.
Tell her, Daddy, tell her.
Problem I got when you got a minister of police.
Yes.
What a swimming polluting and fire polluting. Or other problem international.
Okay, that is good. That work. Well, that is there in Randfontein saying, well, what kind of a state are you expecting if you have a police minister who can't tell the difference between a fire pool and a swimming pool? So this is just going to be continuing. But let's talk about the prioritization of rape and sexual assault cases. What's the trend?
You know, that's a very important question, and that is because as a country we are known to have one of the most, to be amongst the countries with the highest rates of gender-based violence in the world. Secondly, we do know that the South African police release stats every year. Yeah. And those stats, much as they are valuable, they are also quite unreliable because we know we've got very high underreporting rates, as you may have seen with the recent space of rape in the country. So we're sitting with a situation where we do have high rates of rape in the country. We've got high levels of underreporting due to various reasons. And a part of this is a situation like this, where some cases have been reported as far as 2015, but hold on, what are we being told? Nobody's been arrested so far. That is of course problematic. But I also want to touch on another issue, just speaking to the Minister of Police. I want to also just say that we need to start asking questions of accountability, questions around budgets. So for example, if you're going to go into a particular police station and you are told by police officials that, oh well, we don't have enough vehicles, yes, so we can't assist you, that is problematic. There's something there around budgets that we need to start having a conversation about, and we need to start questioning these issues with your South Africa, with the Minister of Police, with the various
stakeholders, I guess. Okay. Humbe?
Good day, Paul.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, look, man, I'm sure that what I'm saying is not for the first time to the ears of the guests that you have there.
Okay.
What kind of any formal education or knowledge transfer they give to the drivers of their taxis as the associations? If they do not do that, I guess it is time they start to do that. If they've been doing that, how effective is it? Because the drivers mostly do not understand the value of the people that they're ferrying in their taxis. And if they do not understand that, how do we expect them to understand even the value of a female person whom they are ferrying in their taxis? So much that they even go to an extent of raping them. On the side of the police, I believe there's gross negligence. You cannot sit with a case that is pending for over 2 years, and today you cannot even explain how far it is and why you have not even arrested a single person. It does not make sense at all.
Humbe, thank you very much for the call. How do you identify skills? This is just a question of une public. Then if you've got, you're in.
Yeah, definitely. In order to drive a taxi, you have to have a driver's license and a public driving permit, which certifies that you are fit to drive a taxi. But as I've said in the Kela, where we are now found wanting in terms of customer care, understanding human rights, and also really how to treat your customer. Those are generally transformational issues that we are busy grappling with. But what we are talking about here tonight, it's something more serious, because it's easy for our customers, our passengers to turn around and say, look, we are not safe. Let's look for alternative transport.
Yeah, but that's an alternative you in the taxi industry are not going to accept.
We have no choice. We can't force people to use our transport if they don't want to. No, we can't. No, we can't. No, we can't. We just have to provide them with the service that is safe, where they are reasonably comfortable. If we don't do that, as you can see, there is a lot of a competition that is currently enveloping us. If you look at the development of the BRT system, the modernization of trains and so on. No, we don't have a monopoly to this market or to this industry. Hence, we are saying we need to stand up.
I will need you for, let me give you your closing thoughts.
Yes, let me come in on what Babu Mlalazi has actually said. I think the first part to it is to say that the fact that there's an openness from the taxi industry to start working on this issue says, as non-profit organizations working in the sector, we're open very much to working with you in addressing gender-based violence. I think a lot of us have to realize that we've been socialized in a particular way, and that's why when I started I said the public transportation system is not safe, because this is not just one isolated incident. We are talking about situations where women have experienced harassment for a very long time, and some of them have not reported because you tell yourself, because this is how it happens in the taxi industry. We had the miniskirt incident in 2011. So this is not something new in the taxi industry, and what I am saying is A lot of us need to unlearn that we have learned. There's notions of masculinity which are dominant, which oftentimes perpetuate violence. So there's an opportunity for organizations to work together with the taxi industry around understanding gender-based violence. And whilst I respect that customer service is important, we need to talk about the safety of public transportation system.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm happy that we're ending on that good, cordial note, and let's hope that this partnership will indeed flourish. But that was question time for today, and as you heard, the SAPS spokesperson, Colonel Lungelo Dlamini, confirmed the police have not arrested anyone regarding the case of rapes in the taxis in Soweto. That's on the record. And that was question time. From me and the entire crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. I'm a hot.